Before there was anything, there was nothing. That sounds simple, but even that statement isn't true because God was there before the beginning. He was there first. He was always there. And from him, everything we know came into being. So far on exploring the Bible, we have watched the moments where heaven and earth were born. We saw how the earth started out formless, empty, and dark, and filled with water. Yet God brought order out of all of that. With just his voice, he created the sky, the seas, the land, and the light. When he spoke, the sun, the moon, and the stars appeared. The barren ground sprouted plants and trees. Everything obeyed God when God spoke. And God saw that what he had made was good. The picture of the world is forming. The stage is set. Everything we see out our windows is being put into its perfect place. But God is not done yet. He has just begun. Today, we are about to witness creation of life on this planet. Today, we meet the animals. Welcome back to another episode of Exploring the Bible. Up to this point, we have watched a beautiful, functional earth coming into being, designed not just for us to survive, but to thrive. Still, in this moment, the earth is quiet. I want you to imagine the earth with me. The only sound you hear is the sound of running water. So, where is the life that God is about to fill the earth with? Genesis chapter 1, verses 20 through 25 answer that for us. Then God said, "Let the waters swarm with fish and other life. Let the skies be filled with birds of every kind." So God created sea creatures and every living thing that scurries and swarms in the water, every sort of bird, each producing offspring of the same kind. And God saw it was good. Then God blessed them and said, "Be fruitful and multiply. Let the fish fill the sea and the birds multiply on earth." Evening passed and morning came, marking the fifth day. Then God said, "Let the earth produce every sort of animal, each producing offspring of the same kind. Livestock, small animals that scurry along the ground, the wild animals." And that is what happened. God made all sorts of wild animals, livestock, small animals, each able to produce offspring of the same kind. And God saw that it was good. When I hear that, the first thing I can think about is the sound. Not just words on a page, but the world itself bursting into life. In a single moment, when God speaks, the world erupts in the sound of every living animal out all at once. Picture yourself looking over the earth as we watch life being created. The sky with the sun and the moon and the stars and the new ground pushing out of the waters. The plants and the trees everywhere. And now life. I can only imagine trying to look in every direction all at once. The birds that fill the sky, every kind of winged creature you can think of, and countless more. Hawks, eagles, sparrows, mockingbirds. The air is filled with this song. On the ground, animals begin to appear across plains and mountains and forests. In the water, life erupts, every fish of every color and size. It's not a chaotic thing, it's flourishing, it's an abundant chorus. Just imagine the birds for a moment. Over 18,000 species, everything from the tiniest hummingbird to the largest ostrich, are suddenly in existence, singing for the first time. The sky becomes a symphony. The seas answer. The oceans, lakes, rivers are filled with creatures. From whales and dolphins singing to schools of fish threading through the water. Crabs and lobsters scuttling on the bottom of the ocean. From above, you see tens of thousands of species moving under the surface of the water. Our eyes can hardly keep up. As the sun sets on the fifth day, the daytime chorus gives way to nighttime sounds. Owls, nightingales, and other nocturnal birds. The lakes and seas seem to slow down just a bit, but morning comes and the chorus resumes. But up until now, the land itself has been quiet. That changes on the sixth day. God speaks again, and now the earth produces land animals, from the most majestic to the tiniest of creatures, lions and elephants, mice and beetles, animals of the Arctic and animals of the desert. The animals don't appear in a frantic stampede. Like the birds, they arrive more in a gentle migration, each taking its place. You can see monkeys swinging in the trees, the bees buzzing from flower to flower, lions claiming the savanna, and polar bears settling into the Arctic ice. There are millions of species, diversity beyond what a single glance can give us. The sounds of the land are overwhelming in the best way. Roars, chirps, rustles, and hums. A once quiet earth filled with life, standing there. I feel in awe. Everything obeys the voice of God. It is not random. There's order and purpose and beauty. It's like watching an orchestra come together into a perfect performance. Every part is important, every sound adding to the whole. And yet, as beautiful as that moment is, I won't pretend that it's the same as the world we know now. A part of me wishes we can stay here forever, in this brand new moment of perfect order. But the reality is, our lives are messy. Sometimes life feels more like a stampede, overwhelming and out of control, instead of a gentle migration. Dishes pile up, laundry stacks beside the washer. There's also trauma and memories that come rushing back. Our homes can be messy and our world often worse. But even in our mess, I think to myself, before the animals, before the trees, before the sky, before anything, there was darkness, formlessness, empty, deep water. And God stepped into that darkness. He didn't shy away. He spoke into it, turning it into something beautiful and loving. If He can do that with the formless deep, He can do that in our lives too. God is all powerful outside of time and space, but He's also loving and faithful to us, even when we are not faithful to Him. He stands next to us in our mess. He asks us to hand over our brokenness and our chaos and to trust Him. Just like everything in creation obeys when He speaks, He invites us to obey. He can turn darkness into light, He can heal us, and He can help us flourish through the life that Jesus gives us. I don't know what you're carrying today. Maybe it's an overflowing sink and dirty laundry. Maybe it's a heavy heart and trauma. Maybe it's something that you can't even name. But the story of creation reminds me God steps into the chaos. He is not afraid of what scares us. He brings order and life. It's not always an instant thing. He doesn't always fix everything all at once, but He fixes it faithfully and lovingly. Sometimes we think we need to fix everything before we can ask God for help. And that's not true at all. He asks us to bring the mess to Him. And this would take small steps and real trust. And we find slowly that things begin to change. The transformation in our hearts starts first. And gradually the world around us changes. There's also a rhythm built into creation. God speaks, creation responds. God sees it as good and He blesses it. He tells it to be fruitful and multiply. That blessing points to life meant to flourish, growth, relationships, communities expanding. It's an invitation to life to multiply and to make more of what is good. So when God blesses the animals and tells them to be fruitful, it's more than just reproduction. It's permission for life to thrive, to fill the spaces of the earth, to carry on the beauty and the order that God intended. Every creature is part of that blessing and participates in the flourishing of creation. Think for a moment. Think of the first whale song or the first note of a beautiful bird symphony, the first roar of a lion. These sounds did not exist before. Now they do. The world responds. The grasslands, the currents, the wind, they all fold into this music. Pollinators work with plants. Predators keep populations in balance. And entire ecosystems hold together in an intricate web. The complexities of all of it points to a creator who pays attention to detail. He doesn't miss any of the small things. The hummingbird's wings, the pattern on a beetle's back, the path that the salmon follows upstream. These are all noticed by him. The attention to detail is the good news. It means he notices you too. If you're comfortable, I want you to try a short exercise with me. Close your eyes or soften your gaze. Picture the ocean at dawn. The light is a sliver. It's quiet. Then the first birds sing. Picture the grasslands, a breeze flowing through them, and the animals stepping out. Hold on to that image for a moment. What do you feel? Peace? Do you feel in awe of what's going on? Or do you feel a longing for order in your own life? Bring these feelings to God. The God who shaped the seas hears those longings you have in your life. He meets our hearts in ordinary moments. Remember, creation is communal. Animals are a part of the network. Pollinators and plants, reefs and fish, predators and prey, everything connected. We're invited into that web too, not merely to watch, but to participate and care. Stewardship is not a burden, it's a privilege. Try something small. Once a day, step outside or open a window even for a moment. Look at one small thing, a bird, a leaf, the way the light falls, and thank God for it. Let the small practice reset your view and remind you God is at work in the ordinary things. This won't fix everything, but it trains our eyes to notice goodness. Over time, these small moments help you see how God is present even amid the noise. I also want to acknowledge real pain. Beauty and suffering exist side by side. Creation groans and people suffer. Seeing the beauty of creation does not erase the pain, but it points us to a God who intends renewal. Romans says creation waits with eager longing for redemption, and that gives us both sorrow and hope. So we have to mourn well. It is okay to be upset, but we can also act compassionately. We can hold on to hope. We can care for those who are broken. And we can steward what we can. And we can wait for the day that God makes all things new. Before we close, I want to celebrate the scene that we just witnessed. From the still deep to the roars of life, creation tells us something about God. He is both mighty and tender. He is both vast and attentive. The world is loud and gentle all at the same time. It points us to a creator who cares for the grand and who cares for the small. Next time on Exploring the Bible, humans finally enter the picture. We'll talk about being made in God's image. If this episode encourages you, please follow this podcast wherever you listen. Share it with a friend who needs to hear that God is big enough for their mess and kind enough to notice their small joys. Thank you for joining me on today's episode of Exploring the Bible. And until next time, God bless.